Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a collective reading and energy updates for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So if you are tuned into the reading today, thank you so much for sharing your energy here. I am sending each and every one of you so much love today. I hope you've been having a really wonderful start to your 2024. And the first thing I want to say about this reading is that two cards came out as I was actually preparing for the reading, which is pretty rare. And typically when this happens, it indicates a very fast moving kind of energy. So the two cards to come out here are the Five of Cups reversed and the Nine of Cups in the upright position. And what I get from these two cards is the energy of someone releasing something from their past in order to shift into this really beautiful Nine of Cups energy that I really see here, representing some kind of major wish fulfilled. For some reason, I'm hearing that for someone specific here, this may actually be a certain wish that you've been holding on to for a long time, manifesting into the physical realm. So this could be something that you've asked the universe for, or some kind of intention that you've set for yourself or your life coming into fruition, coming into full-blown physical form. I do feel that there is some kind of unexpected element here, almost like an element of surprise wrapped up in this. So it may be that something about the way in which this thing manifests in your life may actually catch you off guard or surprise you a little bit. I'm getting the letter initials J-U-S-R-T. These could be in someone's first or last name. I'm also hearing something about the month of March, but do keep in mind that whenever I channel those specific words, names, letters, details, etc., those are typically meant for specific individuals. So don't worry if those don't resonate for you personally. So while we are beginning to dive into the energies here, I'm also going to pull out my chakra stones. These are crystals that tend to connect with each of the 7 chakra centers. Now, interestingly, I usually have these set out when I begin a reading, but I forgot to set them out on my desk today. So it's just coming up in my mind to be including these crystals in the reading. So that could hold some important significance to someone listening here. Maybe there is something that you have not necessarily forgotten about, but put on the back burner of your mind or your own consciousness that the universe is trying to bring your attention to at this time. And I'm hearing that if that is the case, that you will find that you are unable to escape that particular thing. Not in a negative connotation, but in the sense that when something is truly meant for you and truly aligned with you, the universe will not allow you to forget about it. You will constantly feel pulled back to it. You will constantly see signs that are serendipitously pointing you back to that person, that thing, that intention, whatever it is for you. And for some reason, specifically here at the beginning of 2024, although these readings are technically timeless, so take them as they resonate, but this specific energy around this time of the year, as of when I am recording this, really contains this sense of finishing what we started or going back into some dreams, some relationships, some intentions, something that never quite felt finished or always seemed to pull us back into it, revisiting that thing in order to bring something into fruition in a really fulfilling and meaningful way. Now, for some of you, this could be a passion or a dream or a gift, something that you've always wanted to pursue or always wanted to do since you were a child, even perhaps. For others of you, this could be someone from your past coming back around, or a relationship that has been in the works, spiritually speaking, for a really long time, finally making it into fruition in a full-blown, manifested, physical kind of way. But the thing about this energy is it feels very natural. There's no element of pushing or forcing here. And I feel that is a key theme here as well, that whatever this is coming back around for you, be sure not to attempt to push or force it into place, but to really allow that energy to carry you naturally into the next unfolding logical step here as it presents itself to you. Because this is about you being magnetic for those outcomes, for those goals, dreams, and desires, and leaving behind those 3D limiting belief systems and programs that once had us convinced that we had to push or force things into place in an unnatural way. We are releasing all of that, especially stepping into this new year. Now, I do want more information about what needs to be moved forward from. I'm hearing self-limiting. So as you reflect back on this past year, regardless of whether you are watching at the beginning of the new year when people do tend to do this self-reflecting work, or whether you are listening to this later in time, of course, time is just a human construct of the matrix and doesn't really exist at the level of energy. But regardless of when you are listening, where you are listening from, I feel that this is a moment that your guides are presenting to you, a moment where you are being given the opportunity to reflect on ways in which you may have been subconsciously limiting yourself without really realizing that this is what you were doing. I'm hearing it's time to reevaluate any limiting beliefs you have, specifically around things that are really aligned with your soul, that you may have logicked yourself out of or convinced yourself out of. So this could be a passion, a hobby, something that you love, an aspect of yourself that you've been wanting to express. This could be a relationship. I'm hearing the universe is asking you how you can lean into your heart space more, even if it doesn't fully make logical sense, and how you can reevaluate certain beliefs or ideas that you may have been holding on to that were self-limiting when it came to fully expressing or leaning into that part of yourself that is just so connected with your heart. here we have the Five of Pentacles in the upright position. So there may be opposing forces at play here, meaning there may have been people who implanted these limiting beliefs into you. Now, they may have not done this intentionally, but this could have been parents, mentors, teachers, friends, people in your life who I'm hearing limited themselves and never truly went after their own goals or dreams. Or if this is the case of a relationship, this may be people who never experienced true, soul deep, unconditional love. And therefore, when this kind of love presented itself in your life, they may not have been capable of comprehending it. But regardless of how this is applying, this has the sense of almost feeling as though the world is against you. But I am hearing that for someone here, you may have used this as an excuse. The word excuse is a little strong, but you may have told yourself, well, this is too difficult for me to pursue or too difficult for me to do because it feels like there is too much against me, or the cards are stacked against me, or there are too many people that aren't supporting me. I'm hearing that you may have felt extremely unsupported in the physical realm. In fact, even as you contemplate doing this thing or pursuing this goal or leaning into this now, you might feel very alone in the physical world, feeling as though there are many people who are going to judge you or aren't going to understand you. But I'm hearing that what you may not be fully seeing at this time is that even if you aren't physically supported in this goal or this dream, you are immensely spiritually supported, because this is something that is so deeply aligned with your soul that your intuition is not allowing you to forget about it. And as a result of that, this is something that is very much protected and supported in the spiritual realm. In fact, I'm hearing that there are even very specific spirit guides who have been assigned to your case, in the sense that they've been assigned to help lead you into success or into the fulfillment of whatever it is you are seeking to accomplish here. And I also simply feel like I'm being sent in this video to remind you that if you have the ability to desire something in your heart, you have the ability to manifest it, to achieve it, to align with a timeline where that is already a given for you, where that is already on a trajectory for you. And I've just felt this energy coming up around really evaluating any hidden limiting beliefs that may have been holding us back from expressing ourselves and pursuing our dreams 100%. There's also this element that some of those limiting beliefs, again, could be very hidden, meaning you may not fully even consciously realize the ways in which you may have been holding yourself back. But I'm hearing that, again, something that is meant for you will never be able to escape you. So if there's been something that just beyond all logic or reason continually seems to come up in your energy, in your mind, continually seems to pull you back into it, more than likely, this is an indication that that is something that is deeply included in your soul's core intentions for this incarnation. And it's almost like the more you resist that impulse or moving towards that dream, the more subconscious tension you set up within your own being, because in a sense, you're trying to contradict your own soul's intentions, but at this kind of deep subconscious level. So with the Five of Pentacles here as well, I'm hearing that specifically if this is something like a hobby or a passion or something along those lines, part of why you may have not been fully pursuing this particular thing is because you may have been feeling as though I'm hearing like there's no money in that, or there's no potential business or work in that specific space. Now, this is going to be hyper specific to a particular group of people, so only take this if it resonates. But I feel as though someone here is specifically breaking down limiting beliefs around being able to merge your passions and your soul intentions with something that also can bring a lot of abundance holistically in all forms, but yes, physically and financially included into your life. So if this has been something that's been a struggle for you throughout your life, know that you are breaking a massive generational curse, specifically around being one who is capable of merging something that feels really aligned with your soul and that you feel so much passion for with something that also brings a lot of abundance materially into your life and supports you in that real-time 3D sense as well. And this is actually part of how you are grounding in and stabilizing that new earth frequency into the physical realm. You are meant to be one that is showing that it is possible to do things in life that you love and have so much passion for, but that also support you in a physical sense as well. And I'm hearing that your example of doing this, whether this is something you're already doing or a dream that you have, this is going to be a very valuable example and a powerful example to many, many others as well. I see you being such a leader in this sense. And again, on top of that, you are breaking a huge generational curse. I'm also hearing that another generational curse being broken through you is around self-sacrifice. So that may be a strong theme coming up here. Specifically, I'm hearing, how have you diluted your truth or sacrificed fully speaking your truth or being your full-blown self in order to make other people feel more comfortable? Because this may actually connect with this expression of your soul and this expression of your passion. Specifically, if you are a creative type, someone who creates art or music, someone who writes or has a business, whatever it is for you, I'm hearing that something about what you're doing may actually be highly triggering to certain groups of people because you are out there sharing your truth, sharing this pure core essence of your soul in such a full-blown, undiluted way. So this could trigger others for a few reasons, but one is simply because if someone is afraid to do that themselves, or someone is limiting themselves in that sense, diluting their own truth, then seeing you expressing yourself undiluted could be very triggering to that person because they are seeing you doing the very thing that they subconsciously long to do but have been afraid to do. Another reason this could be triggering to other people is much more specific and will not be the case for everyone. But for some of you, some of the truth that you are sharing or the things that you are saying may actually regard certain people in your life or from your past, things that may have happened to you that for some reason I'm getting it's like certain people don't want you speaking about things that happened to you in the past. But I'm hearing 2024 is about claiming your story and having the courage to express that story and to share that truth, recognizing that truth unexpressed becomes like a poison in our energy body because it keeps us from being able to raise our vibration and align with our highest vibrational timeline. If we are not expressing our truth, if we are not living with authenticity, we are setting up blockages and points of tension within ourselves that naturally keep our vibration at a lower level. I actually heard a really powerful message from Anna Wood, who is a beautiful creator on Instagram. Her Instagram is I am Anna Wood, by the way. For anyone who wants to follow her, she often speaks on twin flames and divine counterparts as well. But in her New Year message that she posted to an Instagram live, she spoke about how we think of as love being a very high vibrational frequency, and of course it is. However, authenticity is an even higher vibrational frequency than love, and there's been studies to show this. And I really felt guided to share that information with you here because I feel that many of us have been learning about unconditional love. We've been on this path of showing ourselves that kind of unconditional love and also showing that frequency of love to others. But the next level that we are unlocking here is that level of pure, true authenticity, which is really the ultimate expression of unconditional self-love as well, because when we are living authentically and speaking authentically, we are unconditionally loving ourselves in the sense that we are saying, I am not afraid to fully connect with and express every single aspect and part of myself, the shadow, the light, the beauty, the pain. Again, I feel such a theme of 2024 is owning your story and having the courage to share it and to express your soul in a way that is ultimately in such alignment with your own core soul purpose, but also going to act as such an example and upliftment to others as well. So, can I get another message? I know most of this reading has been incredibly unique so far because we've only pulled 3 cards and a lot of this has simply been a download. But we also have justice. And with this card, I'm hearing that people who have chosen to remain unconscious or to remain at a lower level of vibration, which of course they are allowed to choose to do because we all have free will. But I'm hearing that in many cases, you may have found yourself in a position of feeling abandoned or feeling hurt by people who were refusing to rise in consciousness, who were remaining at a lower vibrational level of consciousness. And you may have also been in a position where you have offered unconditional love to a person who hasn't been able to receive it. Now, this could be platonic, this could be romantic, this could be in any sense. And it can be a really painful experience to have your heart open to someone and to be expressing a kind of loving frequency to someone that they are blocking out. And I'm hearing that because of the level that you've evolved to, you actually are really developing this gift of being able to sense where someone is blocked off in their energy. You may even notice that when you're connecting with someone, you can sense that this person has a bit of a closed off heart space or a bit of a closed off crown chakra or third eye chakra. Now, of course, we all have different words to describe energies. I like to use the chakra system because I think it's a really concise and beautiful way to break down the main energy centers in the energy body. But you could call this someone blocking their heart, someone blocking their intuition, their spiritual connection. However you define this, I feel like someone I'm channeling into here is really developing some strong spiritual abilities to understand others at an extremely deep level. And I'm hearing that in order to understand someone's level, you have to go through it and graduate from it. So it's almost as though you've been through so much shadow, so much pain, so much hardship in your life that you've graduated from many different levels of spirituality. And once you're outside of that level, once you've expanded beyond it, only then can you fully recognize it in others. It's like if you are someone who, for example, has struggled with a certain mental illness or something along those lines in the past, then more than likely you can more easily pick up on when someone is struggling with the same thing. But this is true of energy blockages as well, and really anything that we go through in life or in spirituality. When you have graduated from a certain level, when you've undergone that trial by fire, so to speak, you are then more easily able to identify when someone else is struggling with the same thing, and therefore you are more competent in a sense to act as a guide in human form for that person to help and guide them through that particular set of blockages. Now, you may do this simply by being a friend, a support, an advice giver. You may do this even at a deep unconscious level. This guiding that you do for others isn't always conscious or verbalized. Sometimes this is you saying hello to someone in the grocery store or even making eye contact with a stranger across the street because you're working so much more at the level of energy than is visible in the physical realm. And whenever you interact with someone, even just through eye contact, there is an exchange of energy taking place. And through that exchange of energy, you are downloading a very high vibrational sort of energy and wisdom into other people that have the privilege of coming into contact with you. Now, another major theme coming up for 2024 is truly beginning to see and recognize connecting with you in the physical or the spiritual realm as the privilege that it is. Because I'm hearing that in the past, many people may have had access to you. And this may have been because you in past times hadn't yet fully recognized the value of your presence, your mere presence in someone else's reality. You may not have recognized the value of sitting with someone or being in the same space as a person or listening to them or speaking with them. But this year, this past year, has been a training exercise reminding you of your worthiness, reminding you of the kind of impact and power that your vibrational presence and connecting with you has on other people. So in 2024, I'm getting that there are many people who may have had access to you or to your energy previously that you are going to be revoking access from, or maybe that you've already revoked access from, because you are more consciously recognizing the value of that time, energy, and attention that you give to others. But circling back to this justice card, this card of karma, I'm hearing that for those who have not been doing the inner work, those who, again, there may be some who have hurt you simply through not being able to accept or reciprocate the love that you were giving them, the support that you were giving them. I'm hearing, know that first of all, any way that you've felt hurt or felt abandoned in a circumstance where you were giving love or you were giving support, know that anything you feel that you've lost is going to be returned to you 10 times over. And anything you perceive that you've lost is only leaving your life to make space for something that is of 10 times more value, that is more aligned with you, that is more supportive of you. Secondly, I'm hearing that many people who, again, may have tried to lock you into unbalanced energy equations or connections where they were not reciprocating with you, those who may have hurt you or betrayed you by simply not being able to accept or reciprocate the love that you were giving them, who may have chosen to remain at a low level of consciousness, because I am hearing in 2023, you were called spiritually, you were manifested spiritually into a lot of people's lives. This could be business-wise, platonically. This could even be romantically for some of you, just depending on the circumstances. And some of those who manifested you in 2023 ultimately were not willing to do the work to raise their consciousness, to continue connecting with you physically, to continue keeping up that connection with you, because they were not ready to face their own shadows, the shadows that you and your light were illuminating within them. And this could have put you into situations that were very painful, because you may have developed feelings of connection to someone who simply could not handle the intensity and the accountability required to continue connecting with you constantly in the physical realm. But I'm hearing that in 2024, anyone who was not willing to do that work, or who may have caused you that kind of pain in some way, is going to go through more challenging lessons and experiences that are actually eye-opening, that are actually going to cause them to realize the power of your energy, and to realize the value of what they had and what they are going to feel as though they lost in you through walking away, or through not reciprocating with you in the way that they should have. So don't be surprised in 2024, throughout the course of the year, if certain people that you connected with this year, or even further back on your timeline, who were not willing at the time to reciprocate with you, who could not participate with you in a balanced way, don't be surprised if they come back into your life with a sense of regret, expressing that they now have had their eyes open to the value of what they had with you, the value of your energy, and that they are now wanting to reconnect with you. So, wow, this has been a very interesting reading. I did not expect so many different downloads to come through. Now, I know that many of you listen to these readings for more specific information on certain hyper-specific connections. So in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, I will be going deeper into who may be specifically connected to your energy at this time. So who might be heavily thinking of you, or sending you energy, or appearing in dreams in some cases. And in the extended version of the reading, we will also be looking into any further spirit guide or higher self messages that want to come through for you, as well as any other details or pieces of information that your energetic presence in that extended reading will manifest through the reading. So if you do feel guided to join me there now on Patreon, the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. But for now, I'm going to be closing this YouTube reading with one final Rumi Oracle card. And this Rumi card is the courage of your love. So I'm just going to be reading a little bit from the guidebook here. And the guidebook says, "Love is without reason. Rationality is like a cane. Judgment needs a cane because it is blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadow. Love is the sunrise, while thought is only a flashing light." Rumi. And the guidebook also says, "This is the heart that shines with courageous love. It is willing to feel and bear all suffering without judgment, whilst gently holding it in the truth of what suffering really is, the drying out of the mind addicted to suffering. This drying out is necessary so that love can ignite itself and transform dead wood into living fire. The drying out is a challenging and enduring process. The path of freeing the heart from the effects of a fearful mind is an initiation into great power. So many lapses will happen before the heart grows strong enough to overpower old patterns and surrender without condition or equivocation. When it is ready to surrender in such a way, the heart is free and allowed to simply be. So that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. If you do feel a resonance with the reading today, of course, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates and information. If you do want to continue now with me onto the extended version of this reading, where we will be channeling much more in-depth information, the link to do so is under the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love today. Have a beautiful weekend, and I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.